Now at 4, another new record set in daily COVID-19 cases. What Governor Gary Herbert is saying about the spike and his plans to curb future ones.
Salt Lake County Mayor Jenny Wilson is clearing up some confusion with the local mask mandate. Hear about that and a new social media campaign aimed at teens.
And we will show you how one company is helping local medical marijuana dispensaries along with their customers. They have their new smartphone app. We'll explain how it works.
It's warm and windy across Utah right now, where we have fire warnings and what you can expect with a cold front headed our way. That's all coming up.
Live from Utah's news leader, Fox 13's Live at 4 starts right now.
It is a new daily record for COVID-19 cases in Utah. The state is reporting 1,198 new cases today. The previous high was 1,117 just last Friday. That brings the rolling 7-day average for positive cases to 916 per day.
Positivity rate is 14.2%. Hospitalizations rose sharply today, now with 188. Now, the silver lining is there are no new deaths to report today. The death toll statewide remains at 444.
As the numbers continue to soar, Governor Herbert is again urging people to do the right thing and follow health guidelines.
Fox 13's Ben Winslow is live on Utah's Capitol Hill with more on what the governor said today. Ben.
At a news conference today, the governor announced those stunning numbers and then warned that more restrictions when it comes to health guidelines may be coming. Now, he signaled his displeasure with sporting events that are seeking to skirt health guidelines and called on Utahns to make sacrifices to stop increasing hospitalizations and deaths. Now, the governor recently put Provo and Orem back at an orange restriction level on the state's color-coded scale. He warned that all of Utah County could go there soon if things do not turn around. But he resisted some other measures.
Some of our rural areas, to have a statewide mask mandate doesn't make a lot of sense in those areas. They have virtually no infections and no deaths. And so, again, we have enough divisiveness out there as it is, but there's not really any benefit to a statewide mask mandate in those parts of the state.
Now, the governor is getting an earful from the state's largest teachers union about safety conditions in schools during the COVID-19 pandemic. Coming up on Fox 13 News Live at 5, we'll tell you what they want the governor to do about it. Live on the Hill, Ben Winslow, Fox 13 News, Utah.
Thanks, Ben. The Senate president is recommending that 2 southern Utah counties loosen their COVID-19 restrictions. While Provo and Orem now move to orange, Senate President J. Stewart Adams says Washington and Iron counties should be allowed to move to green.
I think we're seeing Iron and Washington County good numbers. I think they've got great numbers, and I think they should be in green. And actually, I'm encouraged with what's happening in Utah. We still have one of the lowest unemployment rates in the country. We have the lowest case fatality rate still.
The Senate president is a member of a legislative commission dedicated to reopening Utah's economy from the pandemic.
Salt Lake County has a mask mandate in place, but there is still some confusion. Today, County Mayor Jenny Wilson and the County Health Department clarified some things. Fox 13's Lexi Johnson shows us how they hope a new campaign will help.
With COVID cases on the rise in Salt Lake County, Mayor Wilson is clarifying when and where face coverings need to be worn.
When you are outside and you're around others, have your face covering on.
Salt Lake Mayor Jenny Wilson says after going over the county mask mandate this week, which was originally put into place earlier this year, she realized there may be some confusion.
Just as Utah County has clarified that everyone in the outdoors, if they can't social distance, needs to wear a face covering, we too are clarifying our language.
She says a mask must be worn in any setting where social distancing isn't an option.
Face coverings mandatory. Any individual within Salt Lake County who is age 2 and over and able to medically or psychologically tolerate a face covering shall be required to wear a face covering that completely covers the nose and mouth when in any public areas, including outdoors, when non-household members are present and social distancing is not possible.
A new order with this wording is being signed today and will remain in place until January.
We've heard of issues at our school football games, at some other gatherings with kids, where in the outdoors face coverings are not been worn. We know that increases risk, and the point here is not to be punitive. I wish we had other options right now during COVID-19, but we simply don't. We need to battle. We need to continue to battle this challenge.
To help teens remember to mask up, the county is launching a new campaign saying high school memories aren't the same at home. Mask up or miss out.
But I think the schools have the ability to create settings that are safe and make sure the kids, as now required in every instance, have a face covering on when they're together.
Mayor Wilson says if we all do our part and wear our face masks and social distance, we can help to stop the spread and save lives. In Taylorsville, Lexi Johnson, Fox 13 News, Utah.
We have an update on a story we first brought you last night on Fox 13 News at 9. Murray police have identified the man found dead in a pond at the Miller Estates apartment complex yesterday. He is 28-year-old Colin Stevenson. The cause of his death is under investigation, but it is being considered suspicious. If you have any information that can help, call Murray Police.
New at 4, the Davis County Attorney's Office found all officers involved in the fatal shooting of a suspect in Roy were justified in their actions. The incident unfolded back in August after a simple traffic stop turned into a shootout between Roy City Police and 21-year-old Aaron Griffin. Officers pursued Griffin into a field. That's when Griffin shot and injured K-9 officer Mick.
Started medical, my dog's been shot. It's okay. Start medical, my dog has been shot.
What you saw there is body cam of the incident that night. A K-9 officer Mick was shot one time in the face. He had to undergo emergency medical surgery, but has now fully recovered from his injuries. Mick is Roy City's only K-9 officer and has been with the police force for about 2 years now.
Salt Lake City Mayor Aaron Mendenhall announced ReTree SLC today. It's a joint effort with Tree Utah to replace thousands of trees lost throughout the city during the September 8th windstorm. Salt Lake City estimates that more than 1,500 trees were lost. City Parks saw some of the worst damage, with Liberty Park losing 69 trees and the Salt Lake City Cemetery losing 255.
ReTree helps us to put trees back in the ground this fall and for the season to come in the spring, and it helps engage all that volunteer momentum that came out of the September 8th storm.
You can donate directly to ReTree SLC and specify which park your donation will go to. Rocky Mountain Power will match the first $10,000 raised to help kickstart the replanting effort. You can find a link to ReTree SLC's donation page at fox13now.com.
Great program there, and here's another one. The Salt Lake County Sheriff's Office hosted a sale of the produce grown at the jail's horticultural program. This program was started in 2009, and the Sheriff's Office says it helps inmates at the jail learn new agricultural skills. They hope inmates can take the skills they learned in the program and then get jobs or help the community after they are released.
They can go work at a nursery, they can go work in a grocery store or something like that because they've had the opportunity to working with the produce products and stuff like that.
Captain Dietrich says many past inmates have been hired by nurseries and grocery stores because of their work in the program. Some of the extra produce is donated to food banks or given to senior citizens.
Well, we've had temperatures that have been slightly warmer than normal. Allison, are we going to see more fall-like conditions here coming up?
You know what? Right now, we're only 2 degrees away from a record today here in Salt Lake. Also, smoke analysis showing a band of more moderate smoke through the center of Nevada. So we'll continue with the hazy sky. We also have very gusty conditions, especially along the Wasatch back up into Evanston, where our wind gusts right now are 35 miles per hour. So it's warm and windy across a lot of the state. This is all ahead of a cold front. Down in Cedar City and Milford, those wind gusts around 25 to 30 miles per hour. Here in Salt Lake, it is a beautiful day. Still a little hazy out there. Temperature is currently 90 degrees, feels like 86, and our wind is out of the northwest about 15 miles per hour. Temperatures for most of Utah right now, a lot of us around 80 to 90 degrees. I would say most of us are in that category. For St. George, currently 95 degrees. We'll have a lot of sunshine today. Wasatch Front commute for tonight and tomorrow morning. Expect dry roads for this evening. Temperatures in the 80s. And for tomorrow morning, as you wake up, around 60. Top headlines today. Smoky skies continue with moderate air quality. We do have fire warnings for most of Utah. We had some watches that actually turned over to warnings. And also the most recent drought monitor was just released. And as I said, we're very close to a record high today. What you can expect with that cold front coming up in a little bit.
Thanks, Allison. Still to come on Live at 4, Louisville officials call for peace and justice after a night of violent protests over the death of Breonna Taylor. We'll show you how other cities are also bracing for protests after the controversial decision.
And up next, new details in the Vallow Daybell case revealed right here on Fox 13 today. What the guests told Dr. Oz about Lori Vallow Daybell as we look ahead to her next appearance in court.
As mayor, he lowered the tax rate and balanced the county budget.
McAdams improved the county's bond rating, saving taxpayers millions.
Helped clean up the crime and drugs.
If it wasn't for Ben McAdams, I wouldn't be alive today.
I'm Ben McAdams. I approve this message.
If Burgess Owens filed for bankruptcy once, maybe we could believe he learned his lesson. But Burgess Owens filed for bankruptcy over and over and over. $1.7 million in unpaid taxes and personal debts in New York, Pennsylvania, Maryland. Each time, Burgess Owens walked away without paying. In Utah, we take responsibility for what we owe. And Burgess Owens doesn't share our values. DCCC is responsible for the content of this advertising.
Great day on the lake.
It is.
Lunch is cooking. And I saved a bunch of money on my boat insurance with Geico.
Oh, yeah?
Fellas, can it get any better than this? Whoa. My old hairstyle grew back.
So did mine.
What? I was an 80s kid.
It only gets better when you switch and save with Geico.
Well, that's not very nice. But thanks to Remote Smart Parking Assist, it's no problem for the all-new Hyundai Sonata. It can pull itself in and out of tight parking spots without you being in the car. The all-new Sonata. The longer you look, the more there is to like.
Get 0% APR for 72 months or up to $2,000 bonus cash on the Sonata. Only at your Utah Hyundai dealer.
Arby's 2 for $6 everyday value. 2 of these for $6 every day. Like Monday, Saturday, Tuesday, all other days. Arby's, we have the meats.
Prevacid 24-Hour knows you need to prevent frequent heartburn.
It burns my dinner plans.
It burns a good night's sleep.
Prevacid 24-Hour prevents the acid that causes heartburn all day, all night. Prevacid 24-Hour. Prevent the burn.
It's Ford Truck Month. And if this is your kind of day, and this is your kind of truck, then this is your month. Ford Truck Month. Now get great deals on the trucks as tough as the people who drive them.
Now during Truck Month, get a Bill Ford Tough Ranger 4x4 with 0 for 60 financing plus $1,000 bonus cash.
In Washington, Ben exposed waste.
Kept his word and voted against Pelosi for Speaker.
Took on both parties to stop a congressional pay raise.
And he has the most independent voting record of all Utah members of Congress.
I'm Ben McAdams. I approve this message.
The topic on today's Dr. Oz, seen here on Fox 13, was called True Crime, Cult Mom Lori Vallow. Dr. Oz spoke with several people about the disappearance of Lori's children, J.J. Vallow and Tylee Ryan. One guest on the show was Nate Eaton with East Idaho News.
Nate, what have you uncovered about why Lori may have been involved with the gruesome deaths of her 2 youngest children?
Well, months before JJ and Tylee died, she told at least one friend that her children had turned into zombies, meaning evil spirits had entered their bodies, that they had become dark. And the only way to get rid of these zombies was to either pray them out of the body or to kill them.
Vallow has pleaded not guilty to charges related to the disappearance of her children and has said she doesn't mind the trial, including her husband, Chad Daybell, who faces the same charges. Her attorneys have asked for a change of venue.
Another national story here. Cities now calling all across the U.S. to brace for another night of potential protests following this decision not to charge 3 Louisville police officers with the killing of Breonna Taylor.
In protests last night, 2 Louisville police officers were shot, but an arrest has been made. Daryl Forges has the latest.
From Louisville to Los Angeles, Atlanta, and New York, thousands of people congregated to protest the decision not to charge 3 officers in connection to the death of Breonna Taylor. Today, the attorney for Taylor's mother calling out the Kentucky Attorney General.
Daniel Cameron failed. He needs to learn the law of self-defense in Kentucky because, as he stated it yesterday, he was off base.
It's been more than 6 months after Taylor was shot to death by Louisville police officers executing a warrant. Kentucky Governor Andy Beshear reiterated a call for more details regarding the decision to be released.
I trust the people of Kentucky with the truth, but they need to be able to see the truth, read the evidence, look over what a grand jury may have seen or the investigators or the attorney general looked at.
Amid the unrest in Louisville on Wednesday night, there were 127 arrests and some looting, according to the interim Louisville Metro Police Chief. 2 officers responding to a report of gunfire were also shot and are expected to recover. 26-year-old Lorenzo Johnson has been arrested for that shooting. A countywide curfew that started at 9 last night continues tonight.
We adjust our response every night based on the conditions we've seen. I would expect you to see the response tonight very similar to the response you saw last night.
In Louisville, Kentucky, I'm Daryl Forges.
New England Patriots owner Robert Kraft will not face trial on charges he paid for massage parlor sex. Florida prosecutors are dropping a misdemeanor charge against Kraft after a court blocked their use of video that allegedly shows him paying for sex at the Orchids of Asia spa in early 2019. Kraft could still face a suspension from the National Football League.
Smoke from wildfires on the West Coast are taking a major toll on some of the nation's most celebrated wine regions. The smoke has tainted grapes with an ashy flavor that could spell disaster for the 2020 vintage. Growers right now are trying to assess the severity, but if tainted grapes make it into the wine without steps to minimize the harm, or if they can't weed out the damaged fruit, the result could be wine so bad it will not be able to be sold.
Wow.
Well, isn't that something? Of course, it would be just something like this that would make the wine taste so unique that it became a wild seller.
Always looking on the bright side.
I don't know. People don't want any remembrance probably of 2020, right? We want to forget this year as soon as it's over. Don't want to celebrate with that wine. Looking at our air quality here across the state, let's go ahead and start with the northern portion of Utah from Logan down through Layton. Mostly looking at moderate air. That's what yellow signifies across the Salt Lake Valley. It's a mixed bag of good and moderate air down into Utah County. Same thing. Provo's actually looking pretty decent down into Payson and Spanish Fork, though. That's where it becomes more moderate again. Temperatures here across northern Utah. It's a hot day. 90 degrees currently here in Salt Lake. Will probably be one of our last temperatures in the 90s. Next week we'll be warm again, but today we are flirting with record highs here in Salt Lake City. Our record high for today, 92 degrees. It's 88 over in Tooele, 87 in Ogden, 86 in Lehigh, 89 in Provo. And down in southwest Utah, St. George, 95 degrees currently, in the 80s for Cedar City. So today's almanac, we've so far reached 90 degrees. Our average this time of year, 75, and today's a record 92 degrees, set back in a better year, 2001. Looking at wind here across the state, our sustained wind mostly around 5 to 20 miles per hour with some areas gusting even stronger. Evanston, Blanding, Bryce Canyon, Cedar City, Milford, Ely, and Elko all have wind gusts right now about 25 to 35 miles per hour. With satellite and radar, we do have clear sky here across the state for today. We have fire weather warnings, and that'll be in place until Friday at 9 p.m. for the mountains of northern Utah. And then heading into tomorrow, look at this. We've got fire weather warnings that'll all end tomorrow night, either at 9 p.m. or at midnight. But this will encompass, let's call it, more than half of Utah. So please be really careful with these gusty conditions, the hot temperatures, and unfortunately our most recent drought information coming out today. The drought monitor shows it's even worse than it was last week when it was released last Thursday. Fortunately, the exceptional area was expanded over towards Ely, and then almost all of Utah in an extreme drought right now. Once you get up to Salt Lake, it's severe, and then moderate up towards the Idaho border. But man, oh man, not good. Tonight, mostly clear. Temperatures will be in the 50s. We don't have any big storms in the forecast. We do have a cool front that's going to knock our temperatures down, but it's going to be a mostly dry, cold front by tomorrow. Sunshine and in the 80s. Our smoky sky, though, I'll have that forecast coming up in a little bit, though, with what you can expect for that. But temperatures this evening will be in the 50s and 60s. And then tomorrow afternoon, expect those temperatures to be about 75 to 85 degrees. Another day in the 90s for St. George. 95 Saturday, 92 on Sunday. Next week, temperatures close to 90 degrees with overnight lows 50s and 60s. And for the Wasatch Front, tomorrow 84, mid-70s on Saturday, 67 on Sunday. Next week, those temperatures will bounce back up into the mid-70s come Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday next week. So our temperatures will warm back up a little bit next week, close to 80. But today will end up being the hottest, and then tomorrow still warm, but not quite as hot as today.
Yeah, we're on a little bit of that fall roller coaster here.
Certainly going to feel like fall this weekend.
It will, yeah, with those temperatures. Allison, thanks.
Still ahead, can wealth and financial success lead to loneliness? What one study is revealing.
And see how one city is taking steps to cut out junk food in their community. Hear what they're doing, and then you decide for yourself if they're going too far.
You remember Follow the Leader? Fun for kids, concerning in Congress. Ben McAdams promised to walk his own path, but fell right in line when he got to D.C., voting to allow liberals like Nancy Pelosi to vote in his place, and backing Joe Biden, who plans to raise taxes by $4 trillion. In fact, Ben McAdams follows Nancy Pelosi on 85% of his votes. And that's out of line for Utah. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
When it's time for your annual emissions test, bring it to Master Muffler. This fall, we'll perform the inspection and maintenance test for only $25. Are you worried your car won't pass because of a check engine light? Master Muffler can perform any service or repair related to your dash warning lights, and we offer payment plans for jobs of all sizes. At Master Muffler Complete Auto Care, we help you pass the test, avoid the ticket, and keep your vehicle to freedom on the road. Call or come by today, or if you schedule an appointment online, we'll waive the DMV renewal service fee.
It's nice to be together again.
What? Could someone pass the carne asada?
What?
Hi. Can I get the carne asada? Huh?
Tangy, juicy, grilled to perfection. Carne asada is back.
At iMart Express, you'll save on glasses for classes. For $79, get 2 pairs with kid-safe polycarbonate lenses and a free 1-year frame warranty. For a limited time, get a free upgrade to blue filtering lenses, a $250 value, all for $79.
Today, I'm visiting Ms. Clyde's first grade classroom in Taylorsville. Because of how we fund education, Taylorsville Elementary receives less than half the funding per student from their district as a school just minutes away. For Ms. Clyde, that means bigger class sizes, fewer resources, and less opportunity for her students. That needs to change. The Utah Constitution guarantees the right to a quality education for every child, regardless of their zip code.
In consumer news, cameras record you more than you probably think.
I found this very surprising. A report by Safety.com found that people are recorded an average of 238 times per week. The study estimates that by next year, there will be 1 billion cameras watching people all around the world. Now, the most common place people are filmed is on the road due to the amount of cameras at intersections. The report stated it is not known how many of those cameras are actually saving the recordings.
Judging personal success by how much money you make may lead to loneliness. Harvard researchers studied more than 2,500 people. They found those who put a price tag on their level of success often had poor social relationships. Researchers found maintaining social networks was a key to preserving good mental health. They say loneliness can lead to depression and other mental health issues.
Berkeley, California is about to get rid of junk food right at the grocery store checkout aisles. You know what those aisles typically look like, right? Lots of candy bars and sodas. Well, Berkeley City Council unanimously approved the Healthy Checkout Ordinance. Starting in March, the only items allowed at checkout lines will be those with 5 grams or less of added sugar and less than 250 milligrams of sodium per serving. Even though this will take effect in March of 2021, the city will not start enforcing the ordinance until January of 2022. Take a little getting used to there, perhaps.
Yeah.
Well, Bob, now with fall officially here, it is the season for pumpkin spice just about everything, so it seems, but I'm not sure about this one. What do you think about pumpkin spice mac and cheese? Do those go together?
I'm no big fan of it anyway. It doesn't matter to me, but Kraft has it, though. It comes with macaroni noodles and a pumpkin spice flavored powder to add to the classic cheese powder, along with cinnamon and to sprinkle on top, and you get a coffee mug too. Here's the catch: it'll only be available to 1,000 people and only in Canada.
We don't have to worry about it then.
No cash, no problem. The new payment method that's being accepted at some Utah medical cannabis pharmacies.
And if you are still trying to get back to work, there is help out there. What one major company is doing to help people return to the workforce.
Utah Representative Ben McAdams has been diagnosed with COVID-19.
I understand very personally how dangerous this virus can be. It's why I fought so hard for more protective gear, more testing, a vaccine, and financial help for individuals and small businesses. Now more than ever, we need to make healthcare more affordable and cover more people, because nothing's more important than your family's health. I'm Ben McAdams. I sponsored this message.
Everything changes the moment you're diagnosed with cancer. At Intermountain Cancer Center, we create a plan that gives you more of the moments that matter most, with experts dedicated to you. A team of caregivers who know why it all matters and who fight with you to give you the best chance. Our experience means a better one for you.
Yeah, I think we're good here.
Why do we offer so many active safety features on our Chevy SUVs?
Oh, yeah.
All set.
Ready, Freddie?
Because we're not just engineers.
Call us when you get there, okay? Slowly. I'm going slow.
We have families too.
Get 15% of MSRP cash back on most 2020 Equinox models. That's over $5,700 cash back on this Equinox. Plus, current competitive owners get an additional $750 cash allowance. Find new roads at your local Chevy dealer.
You know who's great at parallel parking? This guy. Grant from Granite Credit Union. I'm always there to help you when you want an auto loan and you need the perfect rate. And if you need help with parallel parking, I can help with that too. Hey, perfect. Oh, nearly perfect. Oh, that's not the clutch.
With a Nissan truck, you could be hitting the dunes. Or you could build that dream deck. Well, that looks fun. And you could definitely get used to that. You could, but only in the truck with America's best truck warranty, Titan. With the most with standard horsepower, tech, and safety features in its class, you could do it all. And today, you can save on it all during Truck Month at Nissan. Save up to $11,262 on the 2020 Nissan Titan, or save up to $3,500 on the 2020 Nissan Rogue.
I was a Super Bowl champion, but even with faith and family, success wasn't easy. I went bankrupt. The American promise, even today, is that you can take a risk, fail, learn, and still come back and succeed. We must protect that by helping to end things like human trafficking, stopping illegal immigration, creating jobs, and standing with our police. For me, out of failure came growth. That's the America I'm fighting for. I'm Burgess Owens, and I approve this message.
Welcome back, everyone. Cashless transaction, something Utah cannabis pharmacies could not offer patients until now.
Fox 13's Tamara Vaifanua shows us a new app that could make the transactions quicker and safer.
No cash, no problem. The Hyper app is now being used at the Wholesome Co. Cannabis Pharmacy in West Bountiful.
I would compare it to like a Venmo for high-risk industry.
Money is transferred electronically from a person's bank account to a pharmacy, a resource dispensaries didn't have at their disposal. That's because most credit card companies and financial institutions aren't willing to participate in the federally illegal industry.
It's extremely challenging considering just the federal regulations around cannabis, and so we do have to get relatively creative, and luckily there's this company Hyper that's kind of stepped up.
It's a game changer for Wholesome Co., especially in the climate of COVID-19. Their patients can place online orders for curbside pickup.
It really helps mitigate security risks that we have. So when we are transferring product from our physical storefront to the parking lot, if we can encourage those patients to use the Hyper app, I think it's ultimately easier on the patients, so they're not fumbling around cash in their car. They may not have the right amount, and when that does happen in the shop, they do end up utilizing the ATM we have on site. And
while the app is free, cannabis dispensaries are charged fees, an investment Wholesome Co. is willing to make.
At the end of the day, it keeps the people that are on the front line doing this work of getting people their medical cannabis safe.
Hyper leaders tell us with only 14 retail licenses in the state, they hope to secure licenses with all of them. In Salt Lake City, Tamara Vaifanua, Fox 13 News, Utah.
A bank teller from Heber City is behind bars, accused of stealing money from Park City customers by duplicating debit cards. Charging documents allege 21-year-old Jacob Anderson watched customers enter their personal information, memorized it, and made copies of the cards for his own use. In all, Anderson is accused of stealing more than $3,500 from bank customers.
Tonight, the first congressional district debate between Republican Blake Moore and Democrat Darren Perry will take place. Tonight's debate is the first since the primaries earlier this summer. The race is to fill the seat being vacated by retiring Congressman Rob Bishop. We will stream that debate live on our Fox 13 News Facebook page starting at 6 p.m.
New unemployment numbers out today show more Utahns filed new claims last week compared to the week before. The Department of Workforce Services says more than 4,400 people applied for unemployment benefits last week. There were also nearly 48,000 continued claims. Only about 1,600 people have not requested benefits for 2 weeks in a row. That's down from 13,000 a couple of weeks ago.
Nationally, the number of people filing for unemployment rose slightly last week to 870,000. The Labor Department says 12.6 million people are continuing to receive unemployment.
Alicia Nieves shows us the help some have received getting to work and what advice experts have for those still looking.
The unemployment rate in the U.S. is going down, but it is also almost triple what it was pre-pandemic.
I just never anticipated that this is where we would be in September. And
Bridget Altenberg is the president of the National ABLE Network. For 40 years, it's been helping people find work. But in the past 6 months, it's been working overtime.
It's scary for the people that we're talking to. It's scary for them, where we thought it would be a month or two of unemployment. And here we are basically 6 months later, trying to figure out how to help people navigate.
Altenberg says everyone out of work should know two things. One,
there are employers that are hiring. There's employers that are desperate for people. So don't immediately assume that, oh, there's nothing out there, so I might as well not look. And the second piece I would say is figure out what you want to do. And then don't sell yourself short in terms of what makes you uniquely qualified for that role.
For example, you wouldn't think of a restaurant worker having a unique skill set to be a good fit in the IT field. But the National ABLE Network has been training them to switch over, and IT employers are flocking to recruit these workers.
People who have been servers like intuitively know customer service in a way that I can never teach somebody who's in IT.
In addition to the National ABLE Network, there are also more than 2,000 government-funded American Job Centers offering free career and job hunt services. Also, most public libraries, even many community colleges, are offering free resume help and some career services as well.
At Lyft, when we think about the way that we can make an impact on communities, we think about how we can use transportation to make a positive impact.
The rideshare company Lyft has even jumped in to help the millions of people on the job hunt by providing free rides now in 20 cities to people going to and from job interviews, job training, and even free rides to work until they get their first paycheck.
We have a jobs access hub on our Lyft website that will help you be able to go in and sign up on a form where you'll say a little bit more about what type of support you need, what city you live in, and based off of that, we'll connect you with either your local United Way or your local Goodwill.
Those two organizations actually distribute Lyft's free rides, and the bonus is they also offer free career services and job hunt help. I'm Alicia Nieves reporting.
I know we still have one more work day to get through, but if you're starting to think about your weekend, man, it is going to be beautiful fall temperatures to get out and explore the beautiful fall sights.
Yes, and last weekend the fall drives were pretty packed, so if you are planning on doing anything this weekend, you'll certainly want to keep that in mind. A live look right now from our Salt Lake Tribune camera facing down towards Point of the Mountain. You can see a little bit of haze out there. It's 90 degrees in Salt Lake. We are 2 degrees away from a record high today. 87 in Ogden, not 97, that'd be crazy, and 89 degrees currently in Provo. Now we have gusty conditions because we do have a dry cold front that's going to be moving through this evening, and then we'll have improvements to our smoke for the second half of the weekend. Wasatch back up to Evanston, gusting around 35 miles per hour, about 25 miles per hour for Bryce. Cedar City, Milford, Ely, and Elko. Temps right now across the north in the 70s for the mountains, 70s for Alta and Park City, 80s for the valleys here across the state. St. George, 95 degrees. Coming up, let's look at the smoke forecast for this weekend because the most recent data is showing the timing of that a little bit later for improving. I'll let you know when that will be coming up.
Thanks, Allison. Still to come on Live at 4, there is a new initiative that could be a big help for veterans, also people struggling right now. We'll show you how it works next in this week's Healthier Together report.
And don't forget, when you can't watch Fox 13 News live, you can watch us streaming online for free on Roku, Fire TV, and Apple TV. Just search KSTU on your device and install the app. Do it now.
There's something magical that happens when Arby's combines melted provolone, fire-roasted peppers, and prime rib steak. Ta-da! Arby's, we have the meats.
You remember Follow the Leader? Fun for kids, concerning in Congress. Ben McAdams promised to walk his own path, but fell right in line when he got to D.C., voting to allow liberals like Nancy Pelosi to vote in his place, and backing Joe Biden, who plans to raise taxes by $4 trillion. In fact, Ben McAdams follows Nancy Pelosi on 85% of his votes, and that's out of line for Utah. Congressional Leadership Fund is responsible for the content of this advertising.
It's Ford Truck Month, and if this is your kind of day, and this is your kind of truck, then this is your month. Ford Truck Month. Now, get great deals on Ford F-Series, America's best-selling trucks for 43 years.
Now during Truck Month, get a built Ford Tough F-150 with over $12,500 in total savings, only at your local Ford stores.
That's a buffalo flatbread bullseye for my mouth to aim at.
Oh, hiding, huh?
The new grilled buffalo chicken papadilla. Tangy buffalo sauce, grilled chicken, and melty cheese for just $6. Papa John's.
No matter what size adventure you're into, the award-winning family of Hyundai SUVs has something that'll make everyone happy. We get it. That's a lot to drool over. Hyundai, the longer you look, the more there is to like.
Get 0% APR for 72 months on the Santa Fe or Tucson, or $3,250 total savings on the Santa Fe, only at your Utah Hyundai dealer.
So, Burgess in Congress, will you support Trump's effort to resume testing here in Utah?
Absolutely.
The Deseret News reported Owens absolutely would support Trump's efforts to resume nuclear testing if elected. The Tribune added Owens will put Trump's whims ahead of Utah's health. Owens himself put it best.
I will support everything that President Trump is doing in that arena.
That's Burgess Owens. Trump first. Utah, not so much.
I'm Ben McAdams. I sponsored this message to protect Utah.
A new interactive virtual health series kicks off next week. It features experts from Utah State University, and it's sponsored by Regents Blue Cross Blue Shield.
In this week's Healthier Together report, Fox 13's Amy Ney has a look at what you can expect in the Blue Plate Research Series.
And the goal here is to feature USU's nationally recognized research team in a very informative, but what I would also say is approachable manner.
Jim Swayze, president of Regents Blue Cross Blue Shield of Utah, on the brand new Blue Plate Research Series launching virtually next week.
Making this more accessible and more widespread to all Utahns.
We have over 130 faculty who actually work in the areas of health and well-being,
sharing their expertise with us all.
Not only do we do research, but we also do the outreach.
Something Utah State University President Noel Cockett says they've been able to get quite good at, thanks to their designation as the state's land-grant institution.
So we think of it as a continuous circle of research, informing our outreach, and our outreach raising issues that need to be further researched, which then feeds into our research program.
Mental health is the focus of the first session, but also music therapy, one President Cockett says she experienced firsthand.
Both my father and mother-in-law were starting to move into middle to severe Alzheimer's.
She says she was told to think of the songs they'd remember in a happier time.
And it dawned on me, it was Frank Sinatra and Dean Martin. And I purchased a CD and they both started singing along. It was one of the most memorable times I had with them.
Other topics include equine-assisted therapy.
It combines therapy for people with anxiety, post-traumatic anxiety, with working with horses.
At Utah State right now, focusing on veterans, sharing what they've found works with their audience at the Blue Plate Research Series, getting underway next week, Tuesday at 11:30.
Give this a try, because once you do, you get hooked. There are so many and so diverse topics and things that you can learn about, and it's a very, very fun series. So I hope you can see my enthusiasm. We're so excited to really launch this.
For registration information, just go to fox13now.com. For Healthier Together, Amy Ney, Fox 13 News, Utah.
You might be wondering if the air that you're breathing outside is healthy or not, and when will it get better? We're going to answer those questions right now. Our smoke analysis actually showing that over into Nevada, there's a band of more moderate smoke. I think we're going to see some of that drifting into Utah. I'll show you that smoke futurecast coming up at the end of this segment. So it's going to be here in like 2 minutes. I'll tell you all about that. Let's get to those current conditions. Right now, Salt Lake City, it's 90 degrees. We are 2 degrees cooler than a record high today, with our wind out of the northwest at 14 miles per hour. So temperatures over the next couple days will be cooler. For St. George, it's 95 degrees. Feels like 90, so that's some good news. There's some good news, right? Trying to look at the bright side of things. Since this year, there hasn't been a whole lot of good news, right? Satellite and radar will have lots of sunshine in our 7-day forecast, which is not great news because the drought monitor that came out today showing most of Utah in an extreme drought, and then our exceptional drought, so the worst that it can be, that expanded to include much of southwest and central Utah. But satellite and radar, we're not going to have any big storms in the forecast. We actually have fire concerns for today for the mountains across the north. By tomorrow, almost all of the state will have fire warnings. Temperatures currently on this Thursday afternoon around 85 to 90 degrees right now across the north. Perfect 77 for Bear Lake, 78 degrees for Park City right now, and for southwest Utah, St. George, 95 degrees. It's gusty. We have wind gusts right now for Evanston, Cedar City, Milford, Ely, and Elko, all around 30 to 35 miles per hour. Tonight, we'll have overnight temperatures in the 50s and 60s, in the 40s for Park City, 70 for St. George, and for tomorrow afternoon, those temperatures will be around 80 to 85. So it'll be a little bit cooler tomorrow, but still above average by about 5 degrees. Now, looking at our smoky sky forecast, here's what I want you to know. Most of the smoke that we're seeing still coming in from California. Then, of course, locally, we do have a couple of fires. And if you're close to any of those fires, that's what you're breathing in, depending on the way the wind is shifting. But with this smoky sky forecast, I think we'll get a little bit worse at times over the next day or so. Initially, the smoky sky forecast, the data was suggesting that we would clear out probably Friday night. But right now, it's not looking like we're going to see much of that clearing until overnight Saturday night into Sunday, with that wind pushing it back into California and then into northern California. Now for southern Utah, 96 degrees tomorrow, 95 on Saturday, 92 on Sunday. And those temperatures next week close to 90 degrees for St. George, with overnight temps in the 50s and 60s. And for the Wasatch Front tomorrow, mid-80s, 70s on Saturday, Sunday even. Temperatures might not even make it into the 70s. And then by the middle of next week, those temperatures back closer to average. And overnight temps, look at this, Sunday night into Monday morning will be into the 40s here across the Wasatch Front.
See that sign over my shoulder? That's exactly what we're here. Now, the name of the restaurant that we're highlighting also answered a really good question. The question is, who's your daddy? Their answer is, I'm not your daddy. We're gonna have some fun. Come on back.
Coming up on Fox 13's Live at 5.
COVID-19 cases surged to a new record high in Utah today.
Our hospitalization rate, which was down to 115, will be up to about 180.
The alarming numbers as Governor Herbert turns his attention to the classroom. And as cases spike, Provo High School is in hot water after trying to circumvent COVID-19 restrictions to get fans back in the stands.
Schools are trying to find a creative solution to be able to do what they thought would be best for their students.
The plan that was shot down by a neighboring school district.
I applaud their creativity, but I'm not sure the message is the right message.
And reaction from the governor and the principal of Provo High. Join us for Fox 13 News Live at 5.
It's about time to watch on your time. If you've stopped using this or this and started streaming on this or this, or maybe this, you can find our news free to watch anytime, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Fox 13 News. It's about time we fit into your schedule. Search for KSTU on your device.
Hi, I'm Blake. And I'm Ben. The fall weather is calling for your chance to explore Utah on a new Murdoch Hyundai all-wheel drive. Start your adventure with no interest for 6 years and no payments until 2021 on a new Tucson or Santa Fe. You've got to come and see us online at MurdochHyundai.com.
If you need new eyeglasses, have no fear, because at Eyeglass World, you can get your glasses super fast. That's right. Eyeglass World has in-store labs and same-day service, which means you can zip in, zip out, and zip home. And with 2 pairs for $78, you're going to be a fan of the price, too. So schedule your eye exam online today and get your glasses fast at eyeglassworld.com, the world's best way to buy glasses.
With a Nissan truck, you could be hitting the dunes. Or you could build that dream deck. Well, that looks fun. And you could definitely get used to that. You could, but only in the truck with America's best truck warranty, Titan. With the most standard horsepower, tech, and safety features in its class, you could do it all. And today, you can save on it all during Truck Month at Nissan. Save up to $11,262 on the 2020 Nissan Titan, or save up to $3,500 on the 2020 Nissan Rogue.
Daddy, what's that big moving house thing?
It's a motorhome, Junior. Modern invention.
Modern invention? We carried our homes with us since, like, forever.
Yeah, but humans have Geico to protect them. Something goes wrong, they're covered. What do we have?
What could go wrong? Ooh, a feather.
A feather? Duck, Junior!
That's no duck, Daddy. That's a vulture!
Geico for RVs. 15 minutes could save you 15% or more.
The all-new Silverado HD adds to the legendary capability of the strongest, most advanced Silverados ever. With best-in-class camera technology and larger, more functional beds than any competitor, the only truck that can compare to a Silverado is another Silverado.
Get a total value of $6,000 on this Silverado Crew Cab pickup without the optional camera technology package. Ski Chevy, now at your Rocky Mountain Chevy dealers.
I was a Super Bowl champion. But even with faith and family, success wasn't easy. I went bankrupt. The American promise, even today, is that you can take a risk, fail, learn, and still come back and succeed. We must protect that by helping to end things like human trafficking, stopping illegal immigration, creating jobs, and standing with our police. For me, out of failure came growth. That's the America I'm fighting for. I'm Burgess Owens, and I approve this message.
Hi, I'm Blake. And I'm Ben. The fall weather is calling for your chance to explore Utah on a new Murdoch Hyundai all-wheel drive. Start your adventure with no interest for 6 years on a new Tucson, or purchase for only $20,990. You've got to come and see us online at murdochhyundai.com.
Modern Family, nightly at 6:30 and 10:05 on Fox 13.
For the past 6 months, Fox 13 News has been profiling businesses that have been staying open during the pandemic. The segment is called, of course, We're Open.
And in addition to businesses just staying open, we have some that actually have opened for the first time, a big grand opening. And that's the case with a brand new nacho restaurant in downtown Salt Lake City. That is a good idea, a nacho restaurant. I've made a meal on just appetizer nachos before. Fox 13's Big Buddha takes us to Nacho Daddy.
Time of the best part of my day. We're open in Utah and we're checking out some friends. I'm calling them friends because I'm telling you, you're going to want to be friends with them too. Nacho Daddy, downtown Salt Lake City. We're here with General Manager Jose. Now, I know you're following all the CDC guidelines. You're a food business anyway, so people should have the confidence to come in. So thank you for that. How would you describe Nacho Daddy to people that have never been here before?
Nacho Daddy, first of all, it's a family-friendly environment. We definitely like to bring families together around delicious and amazing food, but it's also fun. We like to try to bring a vibe to Salt Lake that hasn't been here for a long time. It's a place where you can come, sit down, have fun, enjoy it. And
that vibe started in Vegas because there is a Nacho Daddy in Vegas. So if I go there and I come here, I'm going to get the same experience.
Correct.
Okay, let's get to the food. Let's start with these drinks here and work our way around, Jose. What do you got?
Absolutely. So we have the Mexican candy right here. Margarita. The rim is Tajín, which is the Mexican candy
You
itself.
had me at Mexican. I'm in.
It's actually one of the most popular. And then right here, as you can see, we have the scorpion shot.
Is that a real scorpion?
Yes, that is a real scorpion. So we're popular for the scorpion shot. People go ahead and do it, and what they do is they can swallow the scorpion completely, or they can chew it and wash it down with the tequila.
What food-wise, what do you got?
Then we have the lemon pepper wings over there. Delicious wings. I mean, they don't touch the fryer one single time. They're all baked to perfection.
You're saying you're going to put that up against anybody?
Yes, sir, I can.
Okay.
Then we have our vegan flaming fajitas. We
Vegan?
We have a huge vegan menu, full vegan menu. And then obviously we have our Supreme Tostada Nacho. which is one of our most popular nachos. It has avocado, lime salsita, you know, yellow queso, guacamole. It's a party.
And this is
in your
only a small part of your menu, right?
This is just a small tip of the iceberg, yes.
Physical address and web address.
241 West, 200 South, Salt Lake City, NachoDaddy.com.
Now, if you know anybody who could use some, we're open in Utah Shine, Fox13now.com. Last question, who's open?
We are. Nacho Daddy.
Nacho Daddy's open. Bye, guys. Have a good one.
Looks so good. I'm going to have to try that place out.
Yeah.
I'll leave the scorpion shot, though, for you.
Yeah, get out of here. I'm not going near that. Are you kidding me?
If you own a local business, we'd love to hear from you. Just go to our website, fox13now.com. Click on the We're Open Utah tab to share your story with us.
Finally at 4, call it a win for avocado lovers. Scientists in Australia have found a way to preserve avocado shoots using cryogenics. Avocado seeds don't hold up in dehydration when kept in large bins, unlike wheat, which can be stored and used for future use. Cryogenics allows the avocado seeds to be stored in liquid nitrogen, used at another time.
Very important for nachos, avocados. We'll be right back.